A Lost Perspective, The Cabin, and the Eye of Horus. This is an examination of Jacob's cabin and the various Egyptian connections within Lost. My assumptions are: Man in Black is special and can speak to ghosts, just like Hurley. Man in Black uses Christian's body image to manipulate our losties. Because Man in Black couldn't be killed by his brother, he instead perverted the smoke monster when he entered the light. His surviving free will opposes the original motives of previous smoke monsters. For more, see my Man in Black video. My arguments are: the cabin gives us insight into some of the smoke monster's powers and original motivations long before we meet the imposter, while he is masquerading as Jacob. Smoke monsters originally protected the light, defending the land of the living, indicated by the designs left behind by the Egyptians. The Eye of the Protector, Horus, covers the image of a Christian sitting in a chair. My evidence includes The Beginning of the End, 4:1, Cabin Fever, 4:11, Dead is Dead, 5:12, and Ab Aeterno, 6:9. Horus, one of the leaders of the Dharma Initiative, built the cabin against treaty rules in 1975 as an escape for his family. After he completes the cabin and dies in the purge, his map leads Locke back to speak with who he thinks is Jacob. We are distracted by the idea of Jacob, because of Ben, only for a reveal of Jacob's brother, the Man in Black, to be the actual entity that we've been dealing with. The ring of ash around the cabin indicates their previous conflict, or attempt to block out the Man in Black. I think Jacob had been using the cabin with the ash ring intact as a proper meeting place for him and Richard, Widmore, and Eloise. Alana notices the ring of ash has been broken, and the site has been taken over by Man in Black. Inside of the cabin we get a glimpse of a painting of a dog, which, I believe, was looted from the Black Rock, and taken as an example of what is across the sea. Hieroglyphs under the temple depict a negotiation between an Egyptian entity and the smoke monster. I think this tells us much about the history of the protectors on the island as they try to cover up their mistakes. It also reveals the perversion of the smoke monster that was created when an unkillable brother was sent into the light. More Egyptian hieroglyphs can be seen on the hatch counter and the Ajira boarding passes. These indicate an entrance to the underworld, which is a boundary event within most heroic journeys. John and Desmond went through the hatch. Jack and friends took the Ajira flight. The giant statue seen by the Black Rock is Terogret, the Egyptian goddess of protection, birth, and fertility. This leads me to believe that the Egyptians also suffered a time of infertility on the island, quite possibly because of a leak at one of the sources of light, similar to the Swan, perhaps the first leak that started the smoke monsters. In one of Locke's dreams, he converses with Horus, the long-dead leader of the Dharma Initiative. This leads Locke and the others indirectly to the cabin, which appears to have Jacob waiting in it. Hurley has encountered this cabin on his own. He peeked inside to see who he thought was Jacob, only to be surprised by someone's eye. Considering that this is Horus's cabin, and both Hurley and Man in Black can see and talk to dead people, I think this eye was Horus's. For an Egyptian, the Eye of Horus represents a protector or royal deity. The original smoke monster was molded into being a protector just like Jacob, both of whom Man in Black is posing as. We see Man in Black as the smoke monster, disguised as Christian, pulling a con as Jacob just before he's obstructed by the Eye of Horus. I think this was another attempt at manipulating Hurley after the attempt using Dave failed. Locke stumbles upon Hurley just in time to scare away the Man in Black. My conclusions are: the Egyptians existed on the island before much of what we know. Their language and various constructions are a foundation for our understanding. Jacob lived in the foot of the statue for a long time before the cabin was ever built, hiding from his brother. The cabin was not always his. The Swan Hatch, as a patch over the leaking light, is the entrance to the underworld. The original smoke monster is a protector of these entrances. With Man in Black corrupting the smoke monster, the underworld's protection has been left to Jacob, and whoever is posted at the Swan.